Knicks and Bruises, we are back. Shout out to the chat. Yo, Black is time. I got my guy DJ Shuttle in the building. Excuse me. What up,
All
Shuttle?
aboard. All aboard. Listen, we getting closer to the real action, but in the meantime, we got the preseason in between time. So yeah, I mean, we all aboard. We here for. Let's do it.
That's right. Nine days away to the season opener. Looking forward to that. Game 3 in the preseason under our belt, 3-0. Nice win. I think this was the biggest test, probably the biggest test we'll have during this preseason. We got Washington again, and who else? Detroit? No, I can't remember. But two less notable teams. So it was good to see this challenge. No Randle in the game. DiVincenzo played though, and we're gonna lead there, I guess. You know what I mean? That was the story in itself. You know, got a little chirpy, a little talkative on the free throw line. You know, a little talkative after the game. I think the quotes. He said to Tibbs, something to the effect of I can't finish. You know, after getting an and one. I'm assuming Rick Brunson must have chimed in and said some words because then he had some words for Brunson saying this is what happens when they let you call the shots. I don't know what he was referencing when he said that. I don't know what Brunson said to make him say that. And then obviously at the end of the game, it got a little chirpy again. I think they made a bigger deal out of it than actuality. You know, they said people had to separate them. It was they got in between them. You know what I mean? I don't think it was gonna come to blows or anything, but it was good to see, man. What was your thoughts? We'll start there, man. What was your thoughts with DiVincenzo
Yo,
chirping it
listen.
up?
Let me tell you something. First of all, DiVincenzo is the best man in Brunson's wedding. So, you got to know that the relationship between him and Big Brunson is probably pretty cool. And we also know with any family, you know, things happen, things get heated. And if you don't know, Rick Brunson is about that life. He was about that life as a player, back in the day. So, he's gonna talk crazy to you if you're another team now. That's just how it go, even if you family. And listen, I don't think it's really anything all that serious, but at the end of the day, I do love this level of intensity in the preseason. This makes me feel confident that, okay, that's what it is. All right, good. Now we have something for the team to kind of rally and unify around as the season kicks off. So I'm hoping the team embraces it that way. I don't think it's anything that serious. I don't think anybody lost sleep. End of the day, Dante probably is just a guy that hated to leave New York, hated to leave his brother, and he's coming back here with a chip in the shoulder, and he's talking crazy. Like, I mean, listen, if you're from New York, you understand this. So it's like the whole thing with the Randle with the thumbs down thing. It's like, yo, listen, you can't be from New York and be this sensitive. You know what I mean? Like, you can't want the players to be tough, but then when they be tough, then you be like, yo, why he being so tough? You can't have it both ways. So, like, yo, I love Dante as a player, and love the attitude, energy that he brought to the team. And listen, should I expect less from him? Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I loved it as well. I think you hit the nail on the head. It was just more evidence that he wanted to be here. He expressed it again post game. That the rumors of him not wanting to be here or being uncomfortable with the whole Nova Knicks monarch was untrue.
did you
But yeah, man, he was
did you
hurt.
hear
He was hurt by being moved. Say that again.
did you hear the story about how some of that narrative got out there?
No, no, enlighten me.
So Joe Ingles, the Australian, says to him when the announcers are talking to him, asking about it, he says, Dante, go ahead, tell him you really didn't want to be there, part of that. You really wanted to leave New York. This
So
is
wait, who?
Joe Ingles is saying that to
Ah,
Dante while the reporters are asking Dante about it.
okay,
So
okay.
they took that and they used that to make a story.
See,
Joe Ingles.
I didn't hear that, but that's it makes a lot of sense. It is typical media just starting up some stuff, but it grew legs fast. It grew legs fast for sure. I want to highlight a comment real quick because I was actually thinking the same thing when you mentioned it. So shout out to Kevin Berger. He said exactly. I was never hurt by the thumbs down. Um, I didn't get why anybody took it personal or whatever. And that was my stance as well. I actually was encouraged by it and championed it at the time because I understood it in the moment of that game where he was getting booed heavy in the beginning of that game. And then, you know what I mean, he came on, turned it up, and then he's like, nah, you know what I mean? Like, don't cheer me, don't cheer me on now when you know what I mean y'all was booing me when I was just you know what I mean getting my rhythm in or whatever. So I felt the same way. I thought it got overblown. People really took that to heart. I thought it made us look a little weak as a fan base overall, but you know what I mean. It is what it is. He overcame it. Shout out to Randle for going through the fire. You know what I mean. But yeah, let's talk about this game in itself. Um, it was a lot of goods a lot of good I saw in this game. I feel like each game we you know what I mean we seen a little bit more. I guess I want to start with OG because that was the first quarter where you know what I mean the man carried us. He was looking like game three where he got hurt. You know what I mean in that first quarter. And yeah, man, I think that was dope to see. It looked like he was taking initiative, so it wasn't just him getting fed the ball and shooting an open jumper. He was creating out there, a couple of good passes. You know what I mean, rebounding the ball. He was doing it all. So that what was your thoughts of his first quarter? Um, is that something we could hope for? You know what I mean, like a quarter per game where you know what I mean he goes off, and I'm gonna talk about Bridges in the same aspect as well. But yeah, what was your thoughts of that first quarter, OG, where we didn't shoot the ball well, but he kind of carried us.
The thing with OG is, and the thing with the whole team is, I just think that there's so much, like the floor is so high for these guys, the big four, that it's going to be really hard. Like if you try to do a parlay, first quarter this or second quarter that or one quarter with, like it's going to be real hard because you don't. It could be anybody any given night, and to think, oh, we're going to need it from OG. I mean, how often are we going to need it? Like, how much is it going to be really be required? I'm gonna be honest with you. What I'm more impressed with, what I want to see more of, is that stellar defense, that open court, one on one at the top of the key, stealing it from you, taking it down, and sending it in. You know what I'm saying? Like that to me is what I'm more excited about. Like seeing OG. Like I know when I played defense, there were times when I would play and I'd be like, "Yo, I am stopping this guy. This guy is not scoring. I'm making my impact on the defense, and I'm gonna get the ball." And I feel like OG might know he's a good player, but I think there's a next level he can get to mentally to say, "Yo, they can't score on me, and they are not scoring on me." You know what I mean? And I think that, I don't know if he is at that place in yesterday's game, but man, like I saw the potential for it. And when you robbing them and taking them cookies in the open court like that, the sky's the limit. The sky's just the limit for for him and for the team.
And we got a bunch of guys. You know what I mean? A couple guys that could do that. You know what I mean? But for sure, I think that is his mentality already. Um, so I agree with you 100%. But I think the defense we don't really got to worry about. We seen that, you know what I mean, throughout his career. So I'm just on the flip side where the offensive creativeness, you know what I mean, the aggressiveness. That's what we need night in, night out to be a difference maker. But that was one of the things he said coming in when he got traded here. Um, he called himself a defensive playmaker. You know what I mean, and it was showing last night. To the point of the example you gave with the steal. You know what I mean? At the top of the key, I think he had a steal the possession right before that.
in the
Um,
pass forward in the passing lane.
you know what I mean? Like,
And see, and honestly, like I'm cool with OG getting more assertive in the half court offense, but what I need is the passing lane steals, the one-on-one steal a ball, and ignite the break and get your fast. To me, he needs to be the fast break bucket getter.
mhm.
That's where I'm looking to see him hopefully excel. Make a tap, somebody else get it. He gets on the outlet, gets his steals, the passing lanes, all of that. I think there's no reason why he can't have a couple of fast point baskets per game. That will be again great for him and great for the team. Now he's not trying to just only be assertive and get baskets in half court. But yeah, getting your baskets in the half court too, being assertive, looking for your shot, not just catching it and passing it.
Mhm.
And when you got guys like Brunson and Towns with that great two-man game, just like what happened, and he's gonna be open in the corner. Boom. And he drilled it. He shot it, he didn't hesitate. And that's what we want. Don't hesitate.
And even the shots he missed, you know what I mean. I wasn't mad at because those was shots that I want him to continue to take. You know what I mean. Like have that mindset. If if I'm open, I'm shooting. You know what I mean. If this is the right play, you know what I mean. I'm not extending the play. I'm taking this shot. Usually he's like that in the corner, but at the top of the key and on those little curves, he's not so much aggressive.
Right.
Last night he was. You know what I mean? It didn't matter where he was on the perimeter. If he was open, he was jacking it, and that's what I like to see from him.
OG took 8 threes and was 3 of 8 from downtown.
And it felt better than that, but yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah. I mean, can you imagine OG shoot 8 threes a game?
And that's what I think. As much as I'm scared of living and dying by the three, which you know what I mean, that's one of my concerns. I do want us to put up, you know what I mean,
Top
40
five in
plus.
the league. Top
Yeah, I
five
want
in the
I
league.
want us in that realm, but I guess at the same time, I'm hoping our shots, our possessions are top in the league too. You know what I mean? And that was a staple last year. Part of that had to do with the offensive rebounding, which may change. Anything else stood out with OG? Anything else you want to highlight?
Hey, listen, if he's getting 13 shot attempts a game, I think that's a great number. That's what he had last night. 6 of 13 from the field. I think that's a good number of attempts. And if he's shooting between 45 to 50% out of 13 attempts, that means he's making probably like six. A couple of those are threes. Maybe you get, 2 or 3 from the line, something like that. You're right at 15, 16 points. That's what we need.
For sure. Um, Next I want to move to the Warden. Shout out to Sim. Go check out that merch. I think it's up now at printjurisdiction.com. Got the Mikal Bridges shirts and the comic book series.
Mhm.
Um Mikal, he started the game slow. I mean, overall, we didn't shoot the ball well. Let me see if I got that numbers. 30, 43% from the field as a team. We haven't really shot the ball well as a team yet in this preseason. I'm not too concerned with that. I think that'll come in time. But Mikal, he really struggled early with his shot. It looked like, but turned it on in that third quarter.
Yep.
Um, I think I asked you earlier. Did you notice the shot change, and do you make anything of it? Because I definitely noticed it.
Said the shot change.
Yeah, seems like he has a higher release now.
I
And,
don't
and,
know.
and
It seems it. I mean, it seems like there could be a slight change to me, but it does. Like I always felt like his shot was the same shot I'm looking at.
okay,
Kind of high, kind of awkward, kind of hitchy. You know what I mean? And so, listen, I'm going to go by what he's already done, improving in his NBA career. So I'm not going to question his shot form at this point. To be honest with you, I think he's on cruise control. Uh,
hmm
he's one of these guys that is an Iron Man that plays every game, plays a lot of minutes, and I just don't think he's going, A1 hard at this point.
I'm gonna keep an eye on it, and definitely interested if anyone asks him about it in a post game pregame interview. But that third quarter, I believe it was, what I mean, we got to see Bridges play with the second unit a little bit. But just overall in that third quarter, it looked like it was his turn to kind of have his stretch where he took over the game. Hit a couple of big threes, lockdown defense, very similar to OG. I think, for him, I want him to be more aggressive defensively, even though he's a good defender. Um, it's more of a balance. Like it's the flip side of OG, where I want OG to be a little bit more aggressive offensively. I think Bridges is doing that offensively, and it's a conscious effort. But I want him to kind of focus in lockdown defensively, because I think with the two of them on the wings, we've talked about it. Wingstop, um, unlimited potential. But yeah, his shot finally started to fall for him. I think he hit two threes in that third quarter. I think he had 10 points in that third quarter. Um, I think that shot is going to start falling, turning around. The mid range has been steady for him. Um, and I want him attacking that rim a little bit more too. But it was nice to see him take over that third quarter. What was your thoughts on Mikal last game?
Like I said, I don't think he's really, going 100%. You know what I mean? I feel like he's kind of getting familiar. Just you get out on the court, and sometimes you're something like a boxing match, right? Like first couple of rounds, you kind of just feeling out how the opponent plays, and he's feeling out how he fits in with his team because some people can fit in with some people could they're a person that can fit in, and then the other players where you gotta kind of fit into what they do. And I think Bridges is more of a guy, the former, where he's like, all right, okay, that's how you like it, or that's how you move. Okay, then now I'm gonna do this. Like he's a very smart guy. He's a very mental player, not just out there just running around, not knowing what's going on, who's doing what, where they like it, and things like that. So I think right now he's just kind of getting the lay of the land of the team, and figuring out where, as they call it, like picking his spots. I feel like it's a little bit more of that, but I think the more the games get real and we get into the real season, I think you're gonna see him in a more assertive fashion than you see him now. You're gonna be like, oh wow, okay, I didn't
Well,
see that.
I
I didn't
feel
see that
like
in preseason.
the one time I saw it was when he was running with that second unit, and I think that's what we're gonna see. I think last game was probably the closest resemblance of what we're going to be seeing on a day-to-day basis, um especially with the rotation. You know what I mean? We're going to get into that when we talk about the second unit. Some notable, you know what I mean, notable things.
Indeed, notable things happen. Yes,
You know what I mean? So
absolutely.
yeah, I think that's going to be one of the staples where, all right, we need you on go time offensively, um when you run with that second unit. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, yeah. I
Or
think.
did you notice a bit more aggression? You know what I mean, when he ran with the second unit.
Oh, it was very obvious, and listen, we know how this goes. He probably had a conversation, with Big T, and they told him, listen, you're gonna run with the second unit. I'm gonna need you to be more assertive out there. Like, look for your baskets. Now, my thing is, I kind of expected that OG would be the one that would come out first and then get initial minutes with the second unit. But considering Bridges is maybe a more well-rounded, dependable offensive player that not only get his own baskets but help others get shots too, it does make sense. So, um, yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how this rotation plays out, man. We're gonna get into it, but with all the different guards, and how this could work out. Are you gonna really just take people out and then keep Bridges in for like all the way into the second quarter before he takes a break? Like, how are you gonna do it? So, I'm gonna be interested to see how Tiz runs this.
Yeah, you mentioned OG being shooting 8 threes last game, and I think moving forward, that's something I would like to see. You know what I mean? If he's shooting 8 threes a game, um, I like our chances with his percentages. Um, Bridges was 1 for 4, and I know a lot of Knicks fans have been on record of saying they want him to shoot um his highest output of 3 point attempts per game. If you had to put a number on his shots, his threes, what would be a good number for you for Bridges, or do you even care? You know what I mean? Do you want him to increase that part of his game? But
No,
I know a lot of fans have said that. Shout out to Josh. He's one of the people that wants him to kind of implement that, focus on that, increase in his 3 point attempts.
here's the thing: if you were to ask me this question before the cat trade, I would have been saying, yeah, I need him to shoot more. But with Cat coming in being a 3 point specialist, better than him, I mean, you could argue that Cat's the best 3 point shooter on the team. So now that you've got another 3 point shooter, you got OG, who's not like a high volume 3 point shooter per se, but you get him in that corner, he bangs them threes. So, and then you got Brunson too. So I don't really feel like that he has to really be a significant, increase in threes. I like him in the mid range game. That's where he specializes in. Like, go where your specialty is. Like, don't force something else. Like you battle rappers. If you're a battle rapper, yo, do battle rap. Don't worry about making songs. Do go where you're great at, and just be great at what you do.
No doubt. Um, I'm kind of with you as well. I was on the other side of it too, prior to the cat trade. Um, I'm not gonna. I don't want him forcing him. I don't want him jacking him in that sense. So if I had to put a number, I'm okay with maybe 5. You know what I mean? Maybe five a game.
The
You
four
know what I
he
mean?
shot last night is good enough for me.
That's probably a good enough increase. Shout out to D Public Enemy. He said, we heard Edwards tell Bridges you changed the shot at the free throw line. I didn't, and I watched the game twice, but I'm definitely gonna watch it again, and I'm gonna look out for that.
Now,
Um,
now there are some players that shoot their jump shots in the course of the offense different than their shot is at the actual foul line. So I don't think he's saying he shot his shot different compared to 2 years ago per se. I think he's saying your shot looks different at the foul line, and he wouldn't be the first.
I was in the Minnesota Timberwolves chat
Okay.
on after the game, and a couple of people was commenting. Now I didn't hear it, so I don't got no. You know what I mean? I didn't hear it myself, but a couple of the people in the chat was talking about, oh, here comes the Ant to New York rumors, and then somebody was like, oh, did y'all hear Anthony say he wouldn't mind reuniting with Cat at some point? You know what I mean? Somebody else was saying, oh, how y'all know that don't mean Cat coming back to Minnesota? So it was a whole conversation over there. You know what I mean? Talk about here comes the rumors. I ain't gonna. Again, I didn't hear it. Public Enemy said he heard it. He saw it on Twitter or X. So, or maybe he's talking about the free throw thing.
I, I,
But
I saw that. I saw the
you
comments.
did see it? Okay. So Yeah, I'm not gonna get into that conversation just yet. It's too early. It's too soon. You know what I mean? But yeah, just wanted to throw that out there. Ask you if you heard it. So that's clarification for me. We're gonna put that on the back burner.
One thing we know about Anthony Edwards, he's here for the drama,
That's true. That's true.
and he's here for the entertainment.
Yep.
He's
And
here for the
and,
wolf tickets. He don't
and
care what
he's
he say.
yeah, he's a he might be a better troll than Embiid.
Oh,
You know
I
what I
don't
mean?
know.
Like
I don't
I
know
mean,
about that one. But he's for the new. He's the new lead troll for the new generation.
yes. Or let me just say this: I might like his trolling better than Embiid's. Let's say that.
Yeah.
Um, moving on. Josh Hart, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and where the
Yo, that
points at?
that's funny. That's funny. We said the other day
0 point.
he might not get any shots and he might not get any points. And he said, "Oh, that's how y'all want me to play, Knicks and Bruises. I got y'all."
Well, you talked about I mean, somebody not giving their maximum effort, or I mean, coasting or whatever. Like he is the prime definition of that. You know what I mean? But I still stand on it. Might be nights he gets 2 attempts. You know what I mean, per game. And a lot of people are calling for him maybe to not start and changing that. I mean, we had this discussion. I think we had it after each game. But it's still something of value that he's bringing to that starting five, even if it's not with the points. You know what I mean? Like he's continuing to push the offense, push the pace. Um, One man fast break, or just leading it in that pass he gave to Cat. You know what I mean? Spot on. Cat ended up throwing it back. You know what I mean? Probably because he wasn't even expecting it to be able to catch it. Ended up being a backcourt violation because Cat threw it back too far. But yeah, man, I think that's one of the value points that he's bringing. My only concern is he's gonna have to. There's gonna be times where they're leaving him. He can't be the weak link on the floor because we have this offense that's open, and Brunson I think is gonna have a monster season. Like just looking at the difference in the game, how it's so open for him. I mean, he didn't shoot the ball well. We talk about Brunson in a minute. He got to the line though, but I think the thing with Hart is you don't want to be the liability, the weak link that is allowing people to double Brunson, allowing them to shrink the court, if you will, on Brunson. So it's gonna come a time where he's gonna be left so open where he's gonna have 5, 6 attempts because
Like Philly
that's
did
what
against him.
that's what they're gonna yeah,
Like Philly did
that's what they're
against him.
gonna force him to do. Um, I'm not worried about it because I think you know what I mean. Even like in Philly series, he made him pay
Oh,
last year in the playoffs. You know what I mean? Like he made him play. So I'm not really worried about it, but you still got to get your shots up to be able to hit them when the time comes. You know what I mean? You still got to be able to. It's hard to be not be in rhythm and just take big shots and be expected to make them. So that's my only concern. So I think just off GP, he might need to take at least three to five shots per game. You know what I mean? Like just to have that rhythm. Um, but not really much to highlight with Hart other than he helps them win. He makes winning plays. You know what I mean? It may not show up on the stat or the tibisms. You know what I mean? But shout out to him. Anything you want to add on Hart?
hey, let's get the regular season started. We know Harsh is doing what he needs to do to show that he's out there, but them shots will come, and unlike last year's team in the playoffs where they did kind of back off on Harder and force him to be the guy, so to speak, right? Now when healthy, we've got four potential all-stars on this team. So it's a lot different, when he's one link, he's out there with Precious, he's out there with iHeart. I mean, these guys are cool, but they're not Bridges and they're not Towns. You know what I mean? And you know, OG missed. I don't know. Now OG played all those games, so um, it's just a better all around lineup, and it's going to be harder to make him the guy that needs to be identified as the weak link because the other links are going to be so strong. It actually makes him stronger. You know, now when you're swinging the ball, he's not the first guy you got to swing it to. Now Brunson and Cat are swinging it to Bridges and OG before they even get it to Hart. So, I think he's going to eventually start getting some very, very wide open looks. And don't be surprised if we see that Hart that came in from Portland that those first couple of months because he could potentially be that wide open a lot this year.
50% plus from three. That Josh Hart.
He could be so wide open. He could be so wide open on this team that seeing him go 3 for 7, doesn't really seem unrealistic to me.
No, I agree, and he's going to be the guy that they pick, that they choose. You know what I mean? Like, all right, make him beat us. So I agree. Wacko in Brooklyn says 1 game Hart doesn't shoot and Sky's falling. Unbelievable nitpicking. Nah, man, the Sky. We was the ones on record last week talking about he might not take a shot in certain games. My only thing is, as a fan base, y'all can't kill him if he miss a big shot. You know what I mean? Because this is the only shot of the game, and that's what the opposing team wanted him to do. I'm sure he's getting that working in practice, and he'll be prepared. But it's hard to hit that big shot when it's your only shot of the game. You know what I mean?
And if you're down to needing one big shot and one big shot only, maybe somebody else is in there, not Hart.
Fair enough. Shout out to Parrish Duggar. Appreciate you. The super chat. He said, OG finishing is terrible. Bridges gotta initiate more offense. Lack of ball movement issues. Cat rebounds. Deuce forcing shots. Cam can score. Shamit thumbs up. It's a lot to unpack. OG's finishing terrible. I mean, I think in the first, was it the first game? I think it was the first game. He missed some shots at the rim. I think he's being more and more aggressive as the games from game 1 to game 2 to game 3. I think he's been more aggressive. He's been finishing stronger at the rim. As the games progress, I think Bridges is going to get his initiating the offense more in that second unit. I think we saw that in this last game. Lack of ball movement. I still think it's not better than our peak last year, but it's better than we started last year. You know what I mean? So I think it's still, and I don't think we've even touched on chemistry or, you know what I mean? Like the shots are going to start falling. We haven't shot the ball well at all. So,
lack of ball movement, I got to get that stuff down because you got to keep in mind, Duggar, like a lot of the minutes on the floor right now are going to second unit team players that are not going to be playing that much. This
feeling them out,
yeah,
trying to figure out the rotation, which is done, right, and the roles and
all that. So I'm not concerned by that. What I would say is the most promising thing, which would be the core and staple of the offense, is the 2-man game between Brunson and Towns. Like, think about that. What have you seen about that? And that to me looks like it could be the number 1 duo in the league. So everything else is going to be predicated off of that. Mm-hmm. And listen, OG's coming off an injury, so with injury he's coming off of, he's probably just now starting to get back playing games. Give him a second. Give him a second. And yeah, I agree with Tony. Bridges will definitely be initiating more offense. And
Um, cat rebounds, I think that's hit or miss, but it's got, you know what I mean. It's got to be, it's got to be, you know what I mean.
rebounds
10,
last game.
10 plus. He had 10 last game.
Hit 16.
Oh, okay,
He had 16.
okay. I mean,
He played 29 minutes. He had 12 defensive rebounds, 4 offensive to go with 3 steals.
well, there it is.
You understand what I'm
He's
saying?
saying
So
cat rebounds is what he's saying.
yeah, no, he's saluting it. Now I gotta take this minute to highlight what I was saying for a couple of years, which was that if Mitch is gonna score 6 to 8 points, I need rebounding games like this. Now here you got a guy that's gonna shoot 40% from 3. He's gonna score 20 points a game, and we could blink, and he's gonna have 16 rebounds on any given game. You know what I mean? So, I mean, now I'm getting the rebounds that I asked for, and I'm getting 3 times the scoring. So, listen, Catman do. You heard?
Deuce,
That's
Deuce
the new name I came with. That's the new name I came up with, by the way. Catman do.
let me get through it. Deuce forcing shots. I think he just shot bad. You know what I mean? I don't necessarily. I want Deuce to be aggressive. You know what I mean? I want him to feel like when I come in, my job is to score. So I'm not mad with his shot selection. I think he just shot bad. You know, maybe that's from missing the game and first game. You know what I mean? Game back or whatever the case. I don't think he's chucking.
You think there's any pressure on Deuce right now?
I don't like if I don't think he feels pressure. I don't think he feels pressure because I think because he had to fight his way up. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm just saying.
All right, this is what I'll say. If there's pressure, this is
hold on. They're bringing campaign. They draft Kolick. They got Shaman here now. Like, are you feeling like like you gotta show that you're worthy of your spot right now?
This is what I'll say. He shot 28% from 3 first 2 years, and then jumped up to 41%. So maybe if there's something for him to prove, is that last year wasn't a fluke. You know what I mean? As far as that shooting percentage, you know what I mean. So it may be the pressure there to kind of maintain that 38% plus 3-point percentage. You know what I mean? But I don't think there's pressure because one, they stated they see him more as a 2 guard. So I don't think the 2 guys playing the point put pressure on him, because I think they already moved him into a different role, different spot. He's locked down, so there's no pressure for a contract. You know what I mean? Like, and one thing I've constantly gave Deuce credit about last year was once he got in that rotation, he didn't care who was on the roster. He didn't care who was brought in. He didn't care who was behind him. You know what I mean? Like, he wasn't looking over his shoulder once he got in the rotation. So I think that's gonna continue to hold true for him. So I would say not too much pressure. Cam continues to be a bright spot for me. Like, I wasn't high on the signing. I really haven't been a real fan of his. I always say it could be just the optics of the shot, but I mean the man could shoot. The man could get to the rim, can finish. You know what I mean? And I always highlight his story and give his story props. So I like what I'm seeing from him. And Shaman, he's another one. For everybody who said the man can't defend, he ain't a lockdown defender. You know what I mean? But the man fights night in and night out, plays the passing lanes well. Like, he's not a what do you call it, a cone. You know what I mean? That where you just going right by him, and for his limitations, he plays the passing lanes. You know what I mean? Like he does other things that make him a not net negative defender. So he's been a bright spot as well. But we're gonna talk about the bench as soon as we get through Brunson and um
Towns.
Towns. But Doug, appreciate the super chat, man. Where you want to start, Towns or Brunson? Let's go with Towns. Got the players, his old team. You know, it was a lot of shaking hands and hugs. You know what I mean? But I gave him a pass on that because it's you know what I mean, first game.
And it's also preseason.
And it's also preseason. You know what I mean?
We're gonna
Like,
get the formalities all out the way now. When we see you when it counts, we ain't gonna be all of this.
um,
Also,
I think we played them on my birthday too,
2-3
December
weeks ago.
19th. Huh?
It was not. It's not even 3 weeks since the trade, so it's still very fresh. You know,
Yeah, for sure.
it's a recent breakup.
And he obviously, you know what I mean? Like I'm sure he's happy to be here, but he obviously, you know, like we spoke about DiVincenzo not wanting to be traded. He obviously didn't want to be traded either. You know what I mean? Like it's he's happy to be here, you know what I mean? Because he could have got sent, you know what I mean,
Someplace else.
you know what I mean? But he didn't want to be moved. So like I said, I ain't even look at it no kind of way. I just was trying to be funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's all good. One thing that I did note though was one of the maybe it was the coach that just spoke about how well liked he was in the town, in the community, amongst the organization. I believe, I'm not sure again if it was the head coach or not, but there was someone within the organization that has a daughter, and the trade happened, and he still went. The daughter was so so sad to hear about him leaving, and she had a soccer game, I believe it was, and even after the trade, he still said, "No, I'm going to come to your girl's game." Pulled up to the game,
Gave her a jersey or something, right?
Gave her a jersey, you know, took pictures with her and her friends, and you know what I mean. Like, listen, yo, you got people that are jerks, and you got people that aren't. Like, you know, that's the type of quality guy that you want, someone that you know puts the business in the game in perspective and understands that, yo, when it comes to kids, yo, listen, you put your feelings aside and you step up for the children. And yeah, I just thought that was a great story to hear about him coming to the team. I think it's indicative of the type of person that he is, and the type of player that you're getting coming to the team in terms of unselfishness and things like that. Because when you see a person act one way here, then that gives you an indication of what you can expect over there. So,
and the front office obviously familiar with him, but these are the things that they targeted first in you know what I mean, anybody we've heard about as a potential Knicks target, you know what I mean, free agent signing, whatever the case, you know what I mean, Donovan Mitchell, whoever it was, Brunson, you know what I mean, like it was character first, you know, you know what I mean, or character is on the same platform as their game, you know what I mean, like, so they not, if the character's down here and the game is up here, they wasn't even looking your way. It had to been both up here with character and talent. So you know what I mean, they might have lost out on some guys potentially because they wasn't gonna take character risks or character shortcomings. So I feel you on that,
and I'm thankful for that. Like, there were guys that were coming up across the past couple of years. Like, you know, I'm not even gonna mention no names. I'm just gonna say, like, people that got history and things and affiliations and you know, out there throwing up signs on the court. I'm like, yo, you're in the NBA, fan. Like, listen, all right, cool, I get it. You from where you from, like, you know, but like, nah, we don't need players throwing up signs on the court. Nah. No. So I'm not gonna mention no players by name. They know who they are.
I know that soft narrative is dwindling away. You know what I mean? For those who had that narrative on Cat, excuse me being one of them, I can't even. I'm sure there's somewhere that's in the archives that you could pull the receipt. You know what I mean? Or be calling him soft, or at least referencing the narrative. But yeah, that's slowly going away, game by game.
Can I jump? Can I
Seen it,
interject right
I
quick?
just want to highlight. I just want to highlight him going for it, trying to yam on yam on what's your man's name? The his potential replacement,
Nas.
Nas Reed. You know what I mean? He tried to yam it on him. Nah,
So
go ahead. What you was gonna say?
I was gonna say, like, for all the cat is soft narrative, right? Just put him side by side against Mitchell Robinson.
We ain't doing that, bro.
I'm just saying. I'm not talking about.
Oh, nah, my bad, my bad. You say it on the court together.
No. I'm
Wait,
talking
wait,
about.
wait.
I'm talking about when you not numbers, not rebounding, not scoring. I'm just talking about when you say, "Oh, this player's soft," right? Oh, and this player's not so soft. Okay, well, listen, we had Mitchell Robinson here. He would be the de facto starting center before this trade. Would you look at Mitchell Robinson compared to Cat and be like, "Yo, nah, Mitchell is hardcore. He's hard nosed. He's 10 times more harder than Cat," or would you say it's more like or would you say Cat is even more tougher than him? And I'm saying that to say, like, listen, it's easy to see somebody from the other side and say that they're soft, or it's easy to say, oh, he shoots 3 pointers, he's soft. But listen,
Wouldn't consider Mitchell Robinson a tough guy.
and that's my point. It's like, so we didn't get less tough. You know what I'm saying? We didn't get less tough. If anything, he's at least Mitchell Robinson or more tough. So, you know, um, with the 3 point shot. So, listen, my guy got 16 points last night. Catman doing what he do. And listen, um, when you got a center that can do it all around like Cat, it just opens the floor for the whole team.
Pash Duggar, appreciate you again. He says, gotta say, Deuce Shamit Cam will be a solid bench. They looking pretty good, and you know what I mean. They potentially gonna have another starter on the floor with them, and Precious. I gotta throw Precious in there as well. We gonna get to that second unit real short. So you pointed it out, 16 rebounds for Cat. I didn't even realize that. Um, 16 to 16, nice strong double double. Didn't even feel like he had 16 points. What I did notice though is he got to the line. I believe. Let me just make sure I ain't
Only 4 shots. Only 4 shots,
four,
but
four,
he hit
four.
all 4 of them.
You know what I mean? 2 of 6 from three, 5 for 15 from the field. So again, not super efficient. You know what I mean? Not anything that was horrible. It probably again it just nothing stood out. But when you look at the number 16 and 16, that's a more solid game than I actually thought he had. 2 assists as well. Nope, my bad. 0 assists. That's the OG.
And that's in only 29 minutes.
29 minutes. 3 steals though. You,
Three
you know what I
steals.
mean?
Yo, he played the passing lane on the baseline. Like it's
He
it
led
seems,
us in steals as
it
well.
seems like it seems. I mean, I feel like this. I feel like if he's playing this well, this hard in the preseason, I can't wait till the regular season starts. This
Yeah,
is like, yo, I'm just showing y'all a little something right now because apparently some of y'all don't really know who I am and what I do. So I gotta let y'all know.
and
This is like the early warm up night. They could say, "Yo, damn, fan, you going in?" I'm like, "Yo, it's only the first hour. I'm just warming you up. Wait till it's really crowded in here."
so I was just watching before we went live. I was just watching Gil's Arenas podcast. Gil's Arena, and it's crazy because they hating on the trade. Yeah, I mean, first of all, Brandon Jennings, who was the first one talking about yo, they need to get rid of Randle. Da 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 da. Now
Didn't
all
he
of a
say,
sudden,
didn't he say do it for Cat like a week before it happened?
somebody did.
It,
Somebody
it
did.
was it was him. It was him. They were
I
talking. They
don't
were
know if
talking
he
about a
said Cat
trade.
specifically, but
Yo,
somebody. It
it
was
was
him.
it was him.
And now he flip flopping. Oh, I don't know if they got better, and you know what I mean. The cat soft narratives, and I'm watching this joint like, yo, is this Knicks for clicks? You know what I mean? Are they doing this for the response?
Uh,
Because
hey, them guys be inspired, and they probably know what they're saying today from last week.
But yeah, man, I feel like he's been solid all 3 games, and I really feel like we have yet to see him even scratch the surface or put together a dominant game where we're like, oh, like you know what I mean, like, and it's been solid. I'm just waiting for it to all gel and sink in, because right now he's just you know, playing off instinct. I feel like, you know what I mean, open threes, pump fake, attack the rim. You know what I mean? Not really any much in between. He's pulling in the assists there. You know what I mean? Pulling in the steals, pulling in the rebounds. When he gets that efficiency, when the team gets efficient, it's gonna be a wrap. That you think that January run was something? We might have 2-3 months of that. We might
Look,
have 2-3 months of that.
I won't be surprised if this team, hits. I'm not gonna go there. Let's not get into prediction mode. I'm gonna let that go. I'm gonna let that go.
Sure, and I agree. I by no means am I calling Mitch soft. I was just saying he's not a tough guy. He's not a aggressive tough guy. But by all means, is he's not soft at all. And yeah, he he's tough in the paint. I'll say that. um, Brunson, man, I feel like I thought he was gonna have to take some type of a step back with all this
Yeah,
added talent.
yeah, right.
Listen, he quickly from game one, I came out and corrected myself, but he's continuing to show me. Excuse me. I feel like he's gonna have his best year again, his best year of his career again. I think he's gonna continue to get better, and it's only gonna be a little bit more easier for him with that paint being wide open. He didn't shoot the ball well. Let me double check, because I've been off on some of my stances. But
I
I
got
tell you what, he got to the line.
he shot 6 for 13 though.
6 for 13. That's got to be like 47, right? 46%.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
it's not horrible. 1 for 4 from three, 25%. So get better there. 13 free throws,
The one for four is what probably stood out to you from three.
but got to the line, and I feel like that's gonna be the bread and butter for him, because now that paint is gonna be open with his shiftiness and his footwork. He's getting to the line, or he's getting the N1, or he's getting to the basket. I don't think there's no stopping Brunson. I feel like he was top 5 MVP last year. He's got to be there again, if not higher. I don't think he takes a step back. I think he takes a step forward. I don't know what he averaged last year for the regular season. 27.
I'll tell you in 30 seconds. He averaged 28.7 per game.
20, 28.
28.7. 29 points a game, basically.
Can he average 30? Can he average 30 this year?
Well,
Like it don't like it's
here-
crazy, because he had these stretches of 40. You know what I mean? Like he had them 40-point game stretches. I don't know if he has to do that again to kind of get into the 30 average, get to 30. He might just be at a steady 30 all year. You know what I mean? Like with an occasional 50 here.
well,
But yeah,
here's one of my takes on the team this year, right? I feel like with when you give the four big four that this team has, with the ability to get to the hoop, the advantages they have, I think that there's a great opportunity for this team to get teams in foul trouble. To me, that should be a strategy. That should be a strategy. We're going to get these teams in the penalty as early in the quarter as possible, especially the first and the third when you got your big four fresh starting the game and fresh coming off at halftime. First and third, get these guys in foul trouble, get to the line. You've got Towns 84% for a career. You got Brunson 82. You got OG 75. You got Bridges, it's like 82, 83 for a career from the line. Like, I mean, like, not only should this team excel in 3-point attempts, 3-point percentages, 3 points made, but let's also excel in free throw attempts and free throw percentages. These are the things that take the analytics over the chart. I think for teams, 2 or 3 more free throw attempts and makes a game, that could easily be the difference in a couple of wins.
No, for sure. I'm on. I'm watching. I'm in the chat.
Chief Turner.
Seeing him go at it. Yeah, he said the honeymoon phase with Cat will quickly wear off. I don't know if this is even the honeymoon stage yet. To be honest,
It's preseason.
Like
Don't even count.
because again, I don't feel like he's played his best yet. I don't think we've played our best yet, but I feel like he's kind of coasting right now. The same way you said with OG and or Mikal in particular. I feel like he might be the one coasting. Well, Josh Hart is coasting the most, without question. But I think Cat might be the one. I don't think he's pressing. You know what I mean? Like, I think he's trying to just find himself within the system, and I feel like he's doing a good job, even though he's not shooting the ball well, especially from three. When I say shooting the ball well, that's mostly what I'm talking about because we haven't shot the ball well. I think we've been like 30% or worse in all 3 games. You know what I mean? So when I say shooting the ball well, that's kind of what I'm emphasizing. But I think that's gonna come. I think that's gonna come. These guys have career 40-point 3-point shooters that it's not gonna just fall off a cliff. You know what I mean? And the looks they've been getting have been great. Anything you want to add on Brunson, or you want to jump to the bench?
Now, I think Brunson, to further that point about the foul shooting, I think this is the season now where he pulls out of the James Harden bag.
I've been hearing that a lot from numerous different platforms of
Yeah,
and some
that's a Summer original. I ain't
no,
hearing no place else.
no, I'm not. I wasn't. I'm saying because some of the people who have said it was in a negative connotation and some were in the positive. You know what I mean? I'm assuming you saying in the positive, and that was actually going to be my next question statement is I feel like he could lead the league in scoring this year. And that's what I was gonna ask you. Is that what you're saying when you say that?
That's what I'm saying when I say that. Is that if he can focus on that James Harden bag where you getting people, you're leaning and you getting more fouls. Now you have Cat as a big man that can take some of the pressure off you. You have Bridges and OG taking some of the pressure off you. I think there's an opportunity for Brunson to get to the foul line more than he ever has in his career. And I mean, if he's shooting, I mean, I looked at the numbers. This guy's a 49% field goal shooter for his career. 49% for his career. I mean, if he continues to do that and can get a few more foul shots a game,
easy, right?
he can certainly get 30 points a game. But there's also no defense being played in the entire league. So, Trae Young can get 30 plus, and Edwards can get 30 plus. Booker, KD, I mean, all these guys can get 30 plus, but it's
And
just
I've been looking at the strategies of you know what I mean, the defense on Brunson. I mean, obviously we seen what happened last year playoffs. Everybody's trying to put a big on him. I think Minnesota might have started the game with Gobert on him. At least the first two possessions. I don't know if it was based off of a switch, because by the time I rewatched the game, I forgot to like focus on. But I know the first two possessions, Gobert ended up on
Gobert was one of
Brunson.
them, but he didn't start out guarding him. Those were switches.
Those were switches, but I mean, they gonna be trying to throw everything at Brunson, and even in the switch, I didn't go back to look, so I don't know if that was like Brunson kind of initiating the switch to force the matchup he wanted, or if that just was a natural switch because they had to. Brunson got passes. Like I didn't know the context of it, but I did notice that first two possessions. Like the first time I was watching the game, I was like on my break at work, so I you know what I mean. Like I wasn't really focused. But yeah, man, I don't think there's gonna be no answer. I agree. I think he's gonna have one of those James Harden type years where he might could average 35. He might could average 34. You know what I mean? Like, because I feel like the shots are gonna be easier for the most part. I think he's gonna get to the line a lot more. And 28 last year, if you if he shoots a better percentage, because that was one thing he was shaky. You know what I mean? If he gets to that 90% from the line, that alone will get him two more points. You know what I mean? So let alone more attempts, which it looks like he's going to be having. But yeah, I'm going on the record, man. I think he leads the league in scoring and stays in the top 5 of MVP voting.
And
That's my hot take.
and just to help you out with what you call was his shaky foul shooting, he was 84.7%, his highest career shooting from the foul line ever.
So yeah, continue to grow.
So it wasn't that shaky though.
Listen, when I say shake, honestly, I thought he was at 88. Like like without looking it up, just guessing. I was thinking he was at 88. So I was thinking like two more percentage points will get him to 90. So if he gets to 88, you know what I mean? I think that's not a far ask. But I know he was 44%. I just know that he missed free throws last year. I remember, and it seemed like he was missing, one a game that it was like, again, this ain't no knock on him because he still ended he missed a free throw and come back and hit a three and win a game, same game. So I was just saying, you know what I mean? That's one thing we talked about last year, me and Sim, like, sometimes you be nervous when Brunson go to the line. Especially early in the game, not necessarily late, but he's missed some free throws. Um, I think he could get it to 80,
90.
not 90. Pardon me.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like in year one he was up close to or at around 90 for the early part of the season. Then he
Mm-hmm.
tailed off as the
Yeah.
season went on.
Mm-hmm.
He
Him,
ended up at 83 his first season here.
him, and that might be part of my expectation too, because I remember that early in the year, like, oh, he up there in the league, you know what I mean, in free throw percentage. So I remember the drop that first year too, you know what I mean, like to get from 90, you know what I mean, close to 90 to drop to 80, 83, you know what I mean. That's a noticeable drop, especially when you're watching game in, game out,
Right.
and the expectation. Man, I lost my train of thought. I thought I was gonna highlight a comment, but
We have
um
we have one up there.
oh well, Peter, appreciate you. He said when Dante was standing close to Brunson, Jalen had, I seen that. Jalen had his arm around Dante until he attacked his father verbally. And you see Brunson remove his arm and walk closer to his father. I definitely did peep that. Um,
Absolutely peeped that. And I was like, all right, Jalen, I know this
yeah,
your homie, and I know this your homie, but family
you,
first.
you gotta go home. Yeah, I mean, like you
I ain't here no more. It ain't like
not to getting on
he's
a
on the team.
plane.
Yeah, not like he's on a team and he's having an argument with your pops and he's gonna be at practice tomorrow. You know what I mean? You ain't gonna see this guy for 3-4 months.
I definitely peeped that for sure.
Good catch,
Um,
Peter.
and you know Brunson don't play about his pops.
Oh no.
Like, you know what I mean? You know, we've seen it time in and time out. He will defend his pops when there's criticism going around, whatever the case. I do like what he said in the interviews. He definitely don't give any bulletin board material or anything you could run with. He said basically it was words of admiration or whatever. You know what I mean? So he ain't gonna feed the flames. Well, let's talk about this bench. Let's talk about the elephant in the or the little elephant in the room. You know what I mean, the noticeable change in the rotation. We did not see any Tyler Kolek minutes. This is not a complaint. This is an observation. You know what I mean? But obviously, I think it's telling. It means the rotation is what the rotation is. This is not saying Kolek won't see any time. I know that was one of the comments early in the chat. Let me see if I highlighted it just to address this gentleman. Somebody said we need to see more Kolek. My apologies, I cannot find it, but yeah, that was the number one thing that stood out to me, especially down the stretch. That's my guy. That's the guy I like um watching and analyzing out that second unit in this training camp battle. And yeah, we ain't get no minutes from him. I think that's a telling sign that, you know, not saying he won't see time, but he's not in that immediate rotation. Did notice in the post game though, you know, when Tibbs was talking about, you know, everything in general, he did mention Tyler and mentioned him as if, you know, he will see time here and there. But I think it's safe to say he's the 11th man. Fair?
As I expected. You know, I said this, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, last week. You know, I don't expect him to be in the immediate rotation. You know, you got a veteran guy like Cam who the Knicks saw firsthand in the playoffs do so well. You've got Deuce who's already in the circle of trust. And as much as I hate it, you're probably gonna have Shamit playing in some 3 guard rotation lineups at the small forward, essentially. So it's just going to be tough to get him any minutes. And when he does, it'll be because of, you know, foul trouble or injuries or something of that nature until he gets time. You know, I don't think his defense is the issue, but you know, I'll let you speak on that, T.
Um, I mean, his limitations are his limitations. There's nothing he can do about that. But his effort, I think, defensively is there, and that whatever he will be able to do defensively, he'll pick that up. You know what I mean? As time goes along, as he continues to get stronger, as he continues to learn the NBA and the NBA players he's playing against. But yeah, the limitations with his size is that's gonna always be there. So I don't think he's been targeted. I haven't seen that yet. You know what I mean? To say, oh, he's bad defensively. So I do think the effort is there. You
I
know,
do
similar to say it again.
I do remember the guy that was kind enough to give the game away for Charlotte. I remember him trying to take Cola to the hoop and Cola, you know, beating it beating it out of here. So you know, I mean that's at the rim. That was at the rim actually. So you know, I don't think he's going to be the liability on defense that people think. And one worst
On
defense.
our team, he's probably the bottom of the totem pole. Obviously, I mean, if Deuce is playing, Deuce is a defender. Um, Cam is a defender. Brunson, as he got defensive limitations just as well as Kolek. Honestly, um, I feel like Brunson is the perfect guy to kind of learn some of the nuances of how to not be the weak link. You know what I mean? Or he's gonna be the weakest link, but not how you know what I mean? Not how to be a liability defensively.
How to
So I
minimize how to minimize him exposing you.
there you go. But yeah, he's definitely
That's also
probably
Coach
the
Tibbs, also Coach Tibbs too.
agreed. But yeah, that's unfair. He's not a better defender than Cam. I, you know what I mean? Nor Shamit, nor Deuce, nor Brunson. So straw man's argument. I think that's what they say. Um, but yeah, let's talk about the second unit and who did play. Again, Cam continues to make a believer out of me. Shout out to Queen, who was ecstatic about bringing Cam on early. I was not, but yeah, man, I like the way he drives to the basket. I like the way he finishes. The only thing I don't like is the optics of the shot. So, I'm about to. I'm gonna get over it eventually because he's proven me wrong night in and night out. And well, I shouldn't say wrong, but he's you know what I mean. Like he's making me forget about that, especially when he knock him down, and he's continuing to do that as well.
I've seen some ugly shots in my day. I was around for Jamal Wilkes, for Louis Orr on the Knicks. I've seen some bad shots in my day. Bill Cartwright. I
All
mean,
right, now you naming guys I know. Cartwright.
yeah.
I'm
You don't know
familiar. I should say.
you don't know Louis Orr from the Knicks?
Joakim Noah, Louis. Oh, nah. What year? What year?
80s.
I was. I didn't start until like '88, maybe.
Oh no, he's definitely before that. He's from the Rory Sparrow era,
Yeah. See, I know the names. I'm not familiar with them though.
Trent Tucker era.
I see. I know Trent Tucker. I've seen
Yeah,
highlights.
Trent Tucker, aka Point Three.
Yes, Trent Tucker rule. Oh,
Yeah, nah, but point being, I've seen some ugly shots in my day. Kyle Anderson, he got an ugly shot. Yeah, I mean, listen, bottom line is it goes in.
Sean Marion. I was just about to say that the
Uh,
Matrix. Shot.
yeah,
Okay, he looks fluid.
aka the shot put. But when I know one thing though, when he get to that floater looks sweet. That 3-point shot look a little crazy, but that floater looks sweet. Campaign I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the floater. I
The
think he had
floater,
a floater and one, right?
the
He had a
floater,
floater off the glass. See that? Yeah.
his floater looks sweet. Like it looks like the floater is his shot. So yeah, man, Cole could get his time. Cole could get his time, man. Like I said, if nothing else, excuse me, even if he's quote unquote deserving or has the ability, and he doesn't play much this year, I'm okay with that. Just be
Yeah.
ready in case. But right now we got Cam on a 1 year deal. We got Landry Shaman on 1 year deal. So, you know, um, whether that time comes before the season is over, comes in the playoffs, it comes next year. Just stay ready. So you ain't got to get ready.
Kavon, he said, I predict Kolek to replace Cam in the lineup before the season's over. I was on that train early, and I'm not gonna die on that hill. But what I will say is, this is what I said. If when he gets opportunity, It's gonna be hard for. I think it's gonna be hard for him for Tibbs to take the opportunity away from him. I think he's gonna show improve when he gets opportunity. He does say, "Oh, I do like the way Cam looks so far in the lineup, though,"
Yeah,
and he's standing on it. The fact that I think they played together and they played together well. I don't think it's gonna ever. I don't think it's gonna ever be one or the other. I think if what it does do is open up. opportunity if options come in to move one or the other. I think they probably more inclined to do that because both of them seemingly are capable. But Cam's experience, I mean, and his path, I can't take it away from him. It's a advantage that a lot of veterans don't even have. You know what I mean? Like he has that he knows what it is to have been out the league. So I don't think he's taking any opportunity lightly, and it's like that chip is a permanent chip on his shoulder. So he's gonna I don't know, it's gonna be tough for him to lose that job, but they may be able to play alongside each other. If that opportunity arises. Precious, like, he's been solid this whole off season, this whole preseason. Um, some people say, what I mean, what he got, $6 million contract.
Yep.
If it was a overpay or a reach, I mean, I
Yep.
feel like he's playing like that's a valuable contract. You know what I mean? That's a valuable amount of money, and he might play himself into a bag next year. You know what I mean? Like, not comparing him to Hartenstein, but he might play himself into a position where the Knicks can't afford him next year. If you know what I mean, if they
Yeah,
want to,
I see
if they
that.
want to bring him back, because he's been solid, he's been aggressive. Like, I don't even know. Like, he's obviously worked on his shot. He ain't knocking him down like OG out there, but you know what I mean. He's obviously worked on his weaknesses, but his strengths, his effort, his energy, his switchability, his versatility. You know what I mean? Like, it's showing out there, game in and game out, and we already seen what he's done with more opportunity, more minutes. Like, he plays better under them circumstances. But right now, it looks like he's focusing in on how to maximize minimal minutes. You know what I mean? So I definitely love that effort from him. This
Yeah,
one's for you, Shutter. Oh, my bad. Where'd it go? There
one
you
year,
go.
6 million.
What's your thoughts on Cam? If you want to add anything, and
Quickly
Precious.
on quickly on Precious, you got to relax. You're a little out of control out there. You know what I mean? No pun intended, but you like all aboard. Runaway train on a couple of these plays. It's like, yo, you gotta relax just a little bit, Precious. You know what I mean? A little more precious with the ball. You know what I mean? But Cam, overall, I like what I've seen from Cam. Listen, he is who he is. He's got a little John Starks in him. You know what I mean? He's gonna make you say no, 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 no. It's gonna go in. You're gonna say yes, yes, yes. You know what I mean? So you know he's got a little bit of that in him. But you need guys that are a little bit fearless and willing to take the shots and things like that, especially on your second unit of players. And I'm a little worried about the ball moving on the second unit, about about being able to get baskets. The ball was really stagnant second quarter. I mean, I don't even know that they made a field goal for like the first 4 or 5 minutes.
That was with the whole five on the court, right?
It was very painful to watch, actually.
Well, actually, I think Payne came in and had a couple of quick buckets. Um, but yeah, that's it. Definitely got stagnant with all five bench guys in, and I think that's why we saw that change in the third quarter with Mikal. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta stagnate these guys. Give them some help creating. Give them some help as a go-to guy, official go-to guy in that unit.
Now you got to overlap somebody from one, if not two guys from the first unit with the second unit. Like, listen, I don't want to see a swipe of players, five all bench players all at the same time. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that at all. Please don't do that. You know, no.
Shamit, he looked like he know what they want him to do on the court. 8 3-point attempts. He was 2 for 8, 4 for 11 from the field. So you know what I mean, didn't shoot great, not much better. I think one more shot than Deuce, same amount of attempts. One more 3-point attempt than Deuce. Um, but yeah, he's out there to get buckets and shoot open threes. He made all his free throws. I think he's a lot to earn that contract, make it a guaranteed contract. Now his contract becomes guaranteed if he's on the roster once the season starts, or is there a date after the season starts that it becomes guaranteed?
Let's see.
Because he's one of those exhibition ones, right?
He is an exhibition.
So I think it's guaranteed once the season starts.
If he's on the roster when the
If
season.
he's on the roster, I think he's a lock to make the roster. I don't think any of these other guys. Maybe. Wait, Porty's on a 2-way.
Porter's on the 2-way. Yep.
I think he's getting converted. He's getting converted. I think he's getting converted.
So what's your man Sims though?
Fouled out 13 minutes. Did have 7 rebounds, but he's just opening the door for Porty. To be honest, you know what I mean.
And it looked like, as we talked about the players and the DMPs and all that, it looked like just like Kolek wasn't going to see any minutes. It looked like this was a regular season dress rehearsal, and Huck Porty is probably on the DMP list. And wasn't going to see any minutes. But Sims is like, hey, listen, I don't want to solidify the backup center spot.
It's 100% where I was going.
Huck Porty, you know what? Why don't you get in here and show him what you can do, man? You're a nice guy. So
and it's so many Knicks fans, that will casually throw it out there like, yo, Sims is trash. Sims you know what I mean? Get rid of him, wave him. You know what I mean? And I've never been on that train, just because I mean he's still young. You know what I mean? But Porty, he's open that he's like he just left the door unlocked for Porty. Like, yo, if you wanna come in, just come in. The door's unlocked. Like you said, man, he has an opportunity to solidify a rotation spot, and I feel like he's slowly going to dwindle that away. And I feel like if he got a better chance to solidify himself in a rotation than Kolek, and that's because Stims is leaving the door unlocked. Cam ain't leaving the door unlocked. Kolek is gonna have to go through the window, pick the lock, do something to solidify that spot. Sims is leaving that door wide open for Huck Porty. And I've liked him in the brief minutes he got when he played a little bit more. I liked him. So yeah, I don't know what's up with Sims. He can rebound. He has some solid defensive perimeter defensive, spots, but he just doesn't seem like he's putting things together. Like it's still too raw. And Huck Porty's raw too, but even with his rawness, he's showing more versatility. You know what I mean? Like he's not great at anything, but he's good at a lot. Sims is not good at a lot, and he's
not great at anything.
Not great at anything. You know what I mean? Like there's a few things he's good at, but there's But oh man. Paris Duggar, appreciate you. He says Tibbs' secret sauce, his best scorers take all the shots. I mean,
I remember saying that last year. It's like, yo, you concerned Brunson taking too many shots? No. He is a 48, 49% field goal shooter, and he's making the shots. Why do I want somebody else to take the shots? Like, yo, listen, this whole like don't absorb this whole new everybody gets a trophy mentality. You know what I mean? Everybody is gonna be equitable. No, it's not gonna be like that. The best players take the most shots. The people that shoot the best percentages take the most shots. And you know what? The coach is not going to tell them anything when they have a bad shooting night. Don't worry about it, player. Just keep doing other things to help your team win, even if you shoot bad. You get
The,
them
the
next time.
the good thing about it is I don't even know if it's a secret sauce. The
He's already said it.
and there's nothing you can do about it. You know what I mean? Like
You can have
there's no formula to kind of combat it.
have a bad shooting night, but do other things to help the team win. You could shoot poorly, but still impact winning. He said it. He's already said it. I don't know if that's a secret.
Jarrell, I thought about you first and foremost when I was like, there's some people that you know what I mean that's not high on Sims. Oh yeah, you was the first person I thought of. I ain't want to put you on blast, but yeah, man, Sims. I mean, he's a good end of the rotation guy, but I feel like
He's the good
he's
third string center.
yeah he's gonna be the he's gonna be the guy that probably has his role relinquished first. If I had to bet who loses their rotation spot or gets the first demotion or whatever, yeah,
He
it
might
looked like it's gonna be Sims.
he might not even survive the Tibbs 20-game analysis.
Mm.
He might not even last the 20-game analysis. He might not even make it.
Oh wait! You said let me Cash Day says I laugh because Sims attack. Please read Hukporty stats. He only played 7 minutes, I think.
Wait, 5 minutes.
Oh, 5 minutes, 2 rebounds, 0 for 0. Missed both free throws and was a -1.
Yeah, it's less about the stats.
And especially that game, like I knew he barely played. But he the point is he wasn't supposed to play. He was supposed to be a did not play coach's decision, just like Tyler Kolek, and he played because Sims fouled out
In only 13 minutes.
in only 13 minutes. So that's the basis of the focus. I think I feel like Sims it's an uphill battle for him to kind of figure this out. This year 4
This is year
for
five.
Sims,
This is
year
year five.
5 for Sims. Like it's not really a grace period. He's past the grace period part where now you have a rookie here who I think potentially can figure things out sooner with
I'm sorry.
possibly less opportunity.
Year 4 for Sims. My apologies.
And the only guy we ain't talk about is Deuce. I think Deuce is the sixth man of the team as currently constructed. I think he's gonna be the first guy off the bench to give Brunson his rest early. You know what I mean? Or if even if it's not Brunson, even if it's Hart, you could see that and play right alongside Brunson. I'm not concerned with him. I think he could. Yeah, I'm not concerned with Deuce. I know he didn't shoot the ball particularly. I mean, 6 for 11, so that's just like, oh no, that's my fault. That's Bridges. He was 3 for 11, so yeah, didn't shoot the ball well. 2 for 7 from three, 12 points, but was a plus 13 in those minutes, and that's the highest on the bench. Only two bench guys were a plus, him and Shamit. So even with his bad shooting, I feel like he's just more confident in his role and what he's supposed to do. I think he's out there to get buckets when when he's out there. I'm not concerned with him as a chucker. You know what I mean? Like I think he found his niche. He know what to do, and the defense ain't going nowhere. So
Nah, he picking up that 94 feet. I love it.
yeah. So I mean I got nothing bad to say about Deuce. I don't know if he could take another step forward or not. He maybe not, but I think he's gonna be solid and solidify what he does night in and night out. Um, and he might not get what he had 24 minutes. He might not get 24 minutes night in and night out. It might be 13 one game. You know what I mean? Might even be 6 depending on how tough how tough the that particular game is, but I think he's gonna be fine in whatever role he has. He don't look over his shoulder. He knows he made it through Tibbs circle of trust. He made it in, and he ain't gonna relinquish it. You know what I mean?
Nah, and they're gonna give him some rope too.
Yeah, for sure. Um, I don't know. Did I miss anything? I think that's everybody that played. Um, I guess I don't see Warren, T.J. Warren making the squad. I would have liked to have him, even if it was at the end of the bench. But I don't think the Knicks are able to sign two vet minimums, and I think Shamit is clearly uh,
Ahead of Warren.
ahead of him. That's probably why Morris declined the camp invite, the second camp invite, because he knew it was an uphill battle to make the squad. Even though I thought he would have made it, if I had to guess, I thought he would have made it before Shamit.
Yeah, I mean, considering the quality of the guards, having Mars here would be more in my favor. But maybe they saw something when he came in where they weren't thrilled anyway. Who knows? Maybe he's not moving as fast, jumping as high. Who knows? But yeah, I mean, we got a few people that's not going to make this roster, and it'll be interesting to see how this shakes out. So I guess what? Maybe next week you start talking about roster cuts.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, we'll have one more show before the season opener. So for sure, and by then we'll know. Might not even get to talk about the cuts. They might be done and over with. You know what I mean? We might just breeze past them by then. A few more things before we get out of here. Last year, I think our biggest concern as a whole was the non-Brunson minutes. How confident are you in Mikal Bridges kind of filling in that role in the non-Brunson minutes to kind of steady the ship or keep the keep us from that being a detriment? Or is there another option for you, or is it still a concern for you?
Bridges absolutely helps in a way that was not available to the team last year. Having a go-to player, somebody that you can run the offense through, not only from a scoring standpoint, but also from a setting up other players perspective. A lot of injuries last year with once Randle was out, then OG was out, so it just made it a lot tougher. There weren't as many people that you could kind of get the ball to outside of Brunson and say, make something happen for us. You can get it. You can get it to Towns on the block and let him work and let him cook. You can give it to Bridges. He can get his own shots on the mid-range pull-ups or get into the basket. So, you know, but when it's all said and done, you know, Cam's great, and I love Deuce. Landry Shaman's a nice addition, but Tyler Kolek will be ultimately the one that will get in and solidify the non Brunson minutes before the season's done. So I think he's the key even more than Bridges, and it'll just take time for the coaching staff to accept it and believe it, and ultimately that's what it's going to be before the season ends, I believe.
I think you answered my next question. I was going to say, did he help the problem or solve the problem? But I think you're saying he helps it. It's not
Yeah,
necessarily a solve.
yeah. I
Um,
think, I think if on the scale, if it was like a 1 to 5, I think he might have taken it from pain point of a 1 to maybe now it's at a 2.5 to a 3. He's not like a take over a game, dominate with the ball kind of guy, but he can do it in spurts. So if he can do it in spurts, I think that's fine. But having another ball handler out there that can get the team into the offense as well will help him significantly. So him in the second unit with Kolek, I think it's an outstanding pairing. So I can't wait to see that. By game 21.
No doubt. I think that's it, man. Anything you want to add? Any last tidbits or something we missed?
Nah, I think we hit everything home. Teams 3-0 in the preseason. More importantly, the chemistry looks good, and you know I'm excited, man. I'm motivated. I can't wait for game one. Um, I'm already looking at tickets to go out of town and mob out. Clyde was talking about it last night. You heard him?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So if you're a Knicks fan and you heard Big Clyde talking that talk yesterday, you know what I mean? Start getting your tickets, start getting your travel arrangements together, pick a city, and go out there and mob out and represent the unit across the country, anywhere across the United States. Go somewhere and represent.
I appreciate you, Shadow, for sure. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the replay game. I agree with you, Parrish Duggar. He says Sims needs Kolick. I think Kolick would help. Um, a lot of the non-creators on the floor. But I think what he would do for Sims compared to what he could do for Huck Porty, I still would give Huck Porty the edge, and even with the um limited that I've seen him. You know what I mean? But I don't know. It's and I've never been low on Sims, but he's I'm starting to adopt a lot of Jarrell's feelings on him. But
Hey, listen,
the
I
opportunity
want,
is there,
I
man.
wanted,
You can
I
make the
wanted
most
to,
of it.
I wanted Sims to be the guy too, but nah, nah, nah.
Um,
I rather give somebody else a shot right now. I mean, listen, Sims has had a shot for 3 years. He's had some injuries here and there, but it's year four. He's had 3 years to have an opportunity. You know what I mean? And here it is. Like this is the dress rehearsal for the real season. And this is what you do.
and
This is
this is
what you do. This is what you do. This is the game one dress rehearsal. This is your opportunity to say, yo, Precious, you play the backup four. I got the backup five. Yo, rookie, hold on a minute. I got this. I'm the big OG backup center right now. Watch and learn. Let me show you how you do this.
and Tibbs
13,
and
13
Tibbs
minutes, 6 fouls.
and the opportunity is there. And Tibbs usually like that's one thing I will give Tibbs. Like you start at the bottom, right? And you earn your way in. When you get there, he gives you that full opportunity. You know what I mean? Not saying like I mean he's I was gonna say not saying like starting, but even that, you know what I mean? Even that he's had those opportunities to be a starter when Mitch goes down and he's been nothing standouts. You know what I mean? It's like he's been able to be a plug and stop the, you know what I mean? Stop the bleeding, if you will. But he hasn't been a plus guy, man. I was expecting some more from him. It's still early. It's still preseason. I I agree with you. He might not make the 20 games, but I think for sure he'll get 10. He'll get 10 regular season games to kind of show his worth. But I think yeah, like I said, I think Hug Porty has a easier path to kind of break into the rotation than Kolick is than Kolick does, unfortunately.
Hey, listen, if either you want it or you don't. Um, yeah, Nelly, that's what we talking about here. That's I mean, I feel like sometimes you gotta just let things be what they are. And if I'm Tibbs, I'm meeting with the coaching staff after last night game, and I'm saying, listen, do we want to stay with Sims or not? Like, what do you guys really think? Do we want to give this rookie a shot? at the backup center spot. What do you guys want to do?
I don't think he rushes it though. I think the opportunities will present themselves naturally. You know what I mean? Organically, like last night.
Like last night, yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think as time goes by, though, you know what I mean? Like even if it's fouling out 3 out of 6 games, you know what I mean? And Hukporty getting the same 5 minute opportunity based off of that, I think then that starts opening some eyes. You know what I mean? I don't want to make it seem like he's just been fouling out. I praised him the previous game when he had the 10 rebounds. I don't think he scored that game, and I thought he played a good game. But fouling out in 13 minutes, where seemingly it just looked like you was a deer in headlights, which we haven't really seen. I mean, we've seen it in the playoffs last year. We've seen it too much from him for this being his 4th year. But we'll see.
I've seen enough. We'll see. I've seen enough. You know.
No, I'm saying we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. We'll see how it plays out. But appreciate you, Shuttle Man. I think Queen is back to. She might be back tomorrow, so look out for Doso Sports Talk. Sim might be. I don't know. I gotta hit Sim up. I don't want to put it out there when he'll be back, but Sim should be back soon. The season's starting, so I'm sure he will. And I'll be back Monday, but I might have a surprise on Wednesday, so we'll see.
Absolutely.
Shout out to the chat. Yo, Black is time. Until next time, we out.
Very